we are very happy to be here. I work with SPRIND, and I'm going to present a little bit what we do. And then the main part of the presentation is going to be Mar, who is leading one of the projects and one of the startups that we are supporting. And so you will get a nice overview of what we do in general, how you could potentially also interact and work with us as SPRIND. And then you see firsthand a really cool project, what Mar is going to present. So my name is Christian Bogatu. I am an entrepreneur, and for the last 5 years have been working as a venture partner with Eurazeo's Clean Tech and Smart City Venture Capital Fund. And a year and a half ago, I met the guys at SPRIND, and I immediately started to work there because it's really one of the coolest things you've ever heard of. And I want to give you a slight overview of what we do. But before I start, I would like to have you raise your hand if you heard about SPRIND before. You can take a picture very quickly.
Okay, go for
because
it.
Because this is so cool. I always ask that question. And usually it started with maybe 1% of the people. Now we are up to 5%. So we are getting there. But obviously we would like it to be known all over the place. So if you see this, maybe you want to listen even more. So we have a multi-billion euro budget from the German government to support projects and startups that can save the world, in a nutshell. So really cool thing. And how do we do that? So first of all, what is a Sprung-Innovation, right? A disruptive innovation. So here are some examples of past Sprung-Innovation. So it's clearly things where you can divide the time into the time before it existed and the time after, right? If you think back, very often, or actually always, the Sprung-Innovation you will only know afterwards that it was really such a massive disruptive thing. But it's something that can positively impact lives of hundreds of millions of people. It can be a toilet, right? Or an iPhone or a car. And if you're one of these guys or girls that are inventing these things, you very often feel like this guy. You're not very welcome, right? People, your family says you're crazy, your friends say that's stupid what you do, no one needs that. You will hear that a lot of time, and especially venture capital community. They're going to look at you and say, that's crazy, like I'm not going to invest, right? So, but if you succeed, you can really make a difference. You can create long-lasting wealth for generations to come. Yeah, thank you. So in 1886, 68, sorry, the car was invented, and there's a trickling down effect on all sorts of industries, right? So that's the kind of long-lasting wealth for centuries, for generations to come that we're talking about. And please press the next one. If you boil it down, what really makes a Sprung-Innovation, disruptive innovation successful, it's probably lots of things and also lots of luck and timing, etc. But it's actually, we boil it down to 3 things. It's technology. We can basically say that in Germany and in Europe, there's lots of great technology at universities, at research agencies, at companies, at startups, at garages. Like everyone has great ideas and implements that in great technology. But that's not enough. Technology alone will never win, right? Otherwise you get something like this, where the user wants something totally different and you're like, I have the greatest thing, I'm an engineer and I create this super thing that no one wants to use. So you need technology, but you also need funding, and you need, and if you press, maybe I try, doesn't work. So you need execution power. So I'd always say success is 1% technology and probably 99% execution. And at SPRIND, we give you a lot of money, but we also give you support, and we're building up these programs that we name here. So we're building up a co-founder program. So in case of Mar, this is not needed because Mar and her co-founder, they have a perfect team. But very often there's people coming to us with just the idea and their super brains on the technology side, but maybe they need someone to help them on the execution side. So we match them with, let's say, super execution people. We do master classes, we build up a mentorship program, we do an active chairperson program where people can then see these are great projects, I'd love to get involved, not only as an investor, but also become a chairperson on the board of the company. And we do industry partnerships that we all build up right now. So in a nutshell, if you go one back, so multi-billion euro budget, basically sector agnostic. Could be anything from life science, energy, new computing, quantum computing, whatever. We are about 40 team members now, so still a pretty small team. We are still a startup ourselves. And if you heard about it in the news, there's going to be a Sprint-Freiheitsgesetz, which is currently in the legislation process. And that will give us much more opportunities and investment vehicles that we could use going forward. We have about 75 projects that we're supporting right now, and I want to give you just quick overview. You'll see one of them on stage right now, but just quickly, if you can press through. So there's 4 examples from different industries. For example, in the life science space, Capsitech builds DNA robotas, nano-robotas, that you inject into your body, and they basically take out cancer cells or viruses, very targeted. And then we are supporting a project called WeatherTech that is ionizing the air and sending out small molecules of water into the air that are highly ionized, and they are basically the nucleus for enhancing the rainfall. And by the way, we don't know if all of these things are actually going to work out, right? This is a high-risk thing, and that's why no venture capital people are going to invest in these things, but we do. We love these high-risk things. We know it's going to fail with a high percentage, but we try to make it happen. Another thing is microbubbles. You all know about the microplastic in the oceans piling up, and we get it all back into our system when we eat the fish. So they can eliminate the micro plastic in the ocean. And finally, we're also working on the future of cement. So just some examples. And we also do challenges. In fields where we feel like there's not much innovation happening, we engage with the community and we say, you guys should think about an idea and come to us with your idea, and we can give you up to 4 million euros for the next 2-3 years to live this idea. I want to give you one example. If you could play the video right now, please. We call this the Replicator Challenge from Star Trek. If you know the replicator in Star Trek, if it doesn't work, I'll just tell you about it. It's a pretty cool thing. You can see it on our website as well, where you can basically use a waste stream. You engineer bacteria that can work with this or that can modify the waste stream, and then at the end you have a product that you can use. So this is a challenge we just started basically this week. So check out our website, SPRIND.org, and you don't need the video anymore. Thank you, thank you. I want to now pass on to Mar, because she's one of these projects that could be one of you as well, and maybe you have more luck with this one.
I'll try.
So, thank you.
I don't know if that was me or them. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Mar. I'm the founder and CEO of Macrocarbon. And I'm going to tell you how we use the most efficient and scalable machine that nature has given us to sequester CO2 and transform it into valuable products. And that's macroalgae. Okay, we're going to have to do this together. So I guess this must be the most scary thing you've seen lately. The world is on fire. We've seen it in New York with the fires from the north. We see it all over the planet. We are already over the 1.5 degree target of global warming. So we need to act now to reduce emissions and sequester CO2 from the atmosphere. And we need to do that at speed and scale now. Next. Now, the chemical industry is one of those industries that emits around 2 gigatons of CO2 per year to produce all the products that we all use. Your phones, your computers, your cars, they all need long engineering plastics that do not degrade while you're using them. Now, the chemical industry needs carbon, so we cannot decarbonize it, but we can defossilize it. So we can substitute, next, the carbon coming from the fossil fuels to carbon coming from biological feedstocks. Now, there have been already a few projects working with land-based biological feedstocks like corn or trees. However, you cannot really scale them up because they're competing for land with agriculture, for example. However, in the ocean, we do not need extra land, we do not need fertilizer, and we do not need fresh water. Now, from all the seaweeds that are out there, we've chosen one that grows already across the ocean, floating. It doesn't need a substrate, and it can grow in large areas of the ocean. It's called Sargassum. So our solution involves aqua farming, domesticating this seaweed. This hasn't been done before. Growing it in aqua farms attached to existing platforms, for example, repurposing oil rigs, which will hopefully not be needed anymore soon. And then we process that Sargassum biomass through gasification and Fischer-Tropsch to create bio-naphtha and biochar. The bio-naphtha is a drop-in chemical for the chemical industry. So if we give that bio-naphtha to the chemical industry, they can put it into their pipeline and create those plastics that we need from that right away. So the carbon that was sequestered by the algae stays in the product for a few decades. Also, we have as a side product biochar, which is useful for permanent sequestration of carbon. Next slide. So who are we? We're still a small team. It's just Jason and me at the moment, but we're hiring. So if you're interested, let me know. And we were supported by SPRIND, the phase 2 of the Carbon to Value Challenge. And our founding partners involve a research institution where I'm coming from, as well as 2 companies that are active in this space. We also have the support of BASF and a lot of companies and universities in the Canary Islands, which is where we're based. Next slide. Now, how are we going to scale this up? So these are all the areas around the planet where Sargassum can grow nowadays without any extra addition of nutrients. So our capacity to scale up is huge. And these are also all the areas where there are oil rigs that will be repurposed in the next years. So we are aiming to avoid and sequester 100 million tons of CO2 per year. So we're really trying to make an impact to solve the climate crisis. Next, and I'm about to finish. So where are we right now? We've already created a prototype of a free-floating aqua farm. This is around 150 square meters, still pretty small, but we know it works. We know the Sargassum grows in there, and now we just need to make it bigger and more sustainable. And we aim to have our first aqua farm prototype in fall of 2024, and then the large-scale, full integrated prototype, including the processing on the platform by summer 2025. And from then on, it's about upscaling. And with that, I would like to finish. And if you want to join me in defossilizing the chemical industry, please come and talk to me later. Thank you.